It's Tom from Inspiration My Works, and we're just doing a quick update right now because we are in the midst, just right in the middle of getting a bunch of stuff done. And it never fails. As soon as we have things like the lathe to work on, a bunch of project work comes in. So I'm having to stop what I'm doing, move some things around, and get the plasma table ready to go because I've got to get some work done there. While I'm at it, and before I get started on this other stuff, let's talk about the lathe a little bit. The mill is put together. There's just a couple of pieces that we're missing. Most of it was just cutting tools, the TTS system stuff. Some of the collet holders were missing. But the flood coolant kit didn't ship. It won't arrive until Monday. Sorry, it's Friday, guys. So that won't arrive until Monday. The other part that is critical for me on this one is the automatic oiler for the lathe. It also didn't ship. I called Tormach, and everything should be in on Monday, by the way. There's 3 boxes on their way, and I've got tracking numbers. They'll be here on Monday. But I called Tormach, and they're like, well, we sent you a manual oiler on the machine, or with the machine to cover you until then. Except they didn't, right? There's nowhere to be found. So if they did send a manual oiler, either I'm too blind to see the thing, or they had it down on paper that they were going to send it and it didn't get sent. So either way, it's taken me this whole week just to between my day job and everything else to get things done. So, but it's there. Next step, so I've got the turret is on now, as you guys can see. I've got the 8-position turret. It's in place, but the directions tell you to basically get it there, get everything wired up, put the enclosure on, and then you square everything up and get it shimmed. So just got done doing all of the wiring part of it, and be working on the enclosure here as soon as I get done with this plasma job. So that's where we stand with the lathe. I'm hoping to actually be making some chips on this lathe. I'll have everything ready to go. The oiler comes in on Monday, and I get that thing in, and I should be cutting chips Monday night, Tuesday. So I'm ready to get this thing going because, as most of you know, we got the Bar Z Summer Bash coming up, and I'm leaving soon, and I've got parts to get turned out before I leave. So, anyways, just want to give it a quick status update on that. Been working on getting the enclosure put together. A little annoyed with some of this. This is the second time now. Once with the 440 enclosure and once with this one now. I'm missing hardware, right? Sealed package says there should be 6, there's 5, right? I mean, it's just one of these things where otherwise everything goes together pretty straightforward. This really is a 2-person job. I've been doing it by myself, and I wouldn't recommend that. I'm going to take you around the other side and give you a little update on putting the turret on as well. Alright, we're looking at the turret from the back side, the back of the lathe. And when the lathe ships from Tormach, they ship it without, it's shipped as a base unit, right? And when you add stuff to it, like the turret, you've got to do some work for this. It doesn't come where you can just slap it on, you're ready to go. For instance, this oil line right here, right? This oil line actually runs through the carriage, comes out this hole in the casting, gets locked in place here, back through here, and in. Right? That's the default way that it ships. You have to back it up. You actually have to drill and tap. They provide you with the tap, the drill and tap for this one, but you have to drill and tap that hole. You also have to take the cover, the X-axis cover off, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's that little where the oil line's coming through. You actually have to cut that yourself. It's really straightforward. There's a couple of notches you line up and draw your lines and drill a hole and use a hacksaw and cut that out. And then I used a file and some sandpaper just to smooth it out and make sure that there was no sharp edges. But that's the very first step. Once you get this thing on there, is you've got to do that. The next part is electronics. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here for a second so you can see this. Here from the back, you end up taking the electronics for the tool changer and the coolant. I guess it's just the electronics for the tool changer itself, though. You have to zip tie that up, bring it around. I'm gonna put you in pan mode here, right? So then run it down below the casting, through here, through the casting, back out the other side, and then you have to run the wires through here and put this plate on, right? Not terribly difficult, but just like I said, things to be aware of if you either buy the base system and add the turret later, or you're getting one of these systems. What I actually ended up doing when I put this in, I didn't actually have enough room to get the wires from here down into the control box, so I actually had to take this whole cover off in order to run that. Might have to go handheld to get you a decent idea of what you have to do here. So this is the electronics. Sorry, let me flip this around so I can see the viewfinder. Alright, so this is the electronics. So it comes in through the box through the top, right? Feeds down like everything else does. And you actually have to, they ship you with the turret, they ship you a control module that you have to put in place. There's a ribbon cable, the power controls, all the controls, but then the power wires and the ground wire come separate in a bag. You have to tie those in. You have to run all the cabling. So your power comes up into your control boxes here, and it connects in up here. You basically double up on that. I want to say it was 14 and 24, if I remember right. And then your ground wire, can go to any of the ground block here. Not terribly complicated, but had I read the directions, I would have, before I ordered this, as opposed to I had to read the directions to do this. I think I would have been a little more prepared for it mentally. It wasn't terribly difficult, but just be aware that you have to do that. The other reason you have to get in here, and I haven't done this yet because the machine's not where it's going to go, is there's actually there's a wheel on the bottom to help support this, and I've got to lower that down so get that going. But this is where I'm at so far. Probably wouldn't be quite so difficult if I didn't have back problems. All this getting up and down and working on the ground kind of thing wouldn't be bothering me as much. Well, for this video I'm probably going to call it. I will keep working on this. I've got a friend coming over to help out, so I'll keep working on this in a little bit. But today is my 1-year anniversary from having the back surgery, and there's times where, like even today, I'm trying to get around and I'm sitting here, leaning up against stuff and having to sit down, and it can be discouraging. But then I remember what I was like a year ago, and I was just playing with my son and holding him and doing this stuff, and I couldn't do any of that a year ago, and he was, a third of the weight then. So progress is being made, and you got to stay positive. You got to keep looking on the bright side of things. It's too easy to just complain about stuff and bitch and moan. I know I said there were a couple of missing hardware, and it may have come across that I was complaining about having to do the installation of this stuff. I'm not complaining at all. I know that this is part of why the price points are where they're at for some of these machines. Quality-wise, everything has been great. The directions have been phenomenal. I had people ask me, I think it was Mark, my buddy Mark asked how the directions were. Between the printed directions that came with it, updates that were available, videos that are out there, I have not had a single issue with putting this thing together, aside from the fact that I'm broke, right? I'm not exactly the most physically capable guy right now, but otherwise, this thing could have been up and running. Had I received all the parts, then they'd not been on back order. A couple of days, and you could have this up and running without any problem. If you've got a couple people to really set things up, You could have the machine running in a day. You really could. It's not that difficult. But with that, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Thanks again to all my patrons. Let's throw some names up here, and I really appreciate that. Oh, one other thing. You may have seen this picture. You may have seen that picture pop up on social media. My social media links are down in the description if you need them. Getting ready to head out to stands for the Bar Z Summer Bash. I know a lot of you are out there, are going to be, a lot of you have heard of this already. Those of you that are going out there, let me know. Let me know if you're going to be out there or not. That was one of the best parts for me going to John's open house, the NYC CNC open house, was that I actually knew that there were people coming that I wanted to meet in person. And I know of a few people that I'm going to be meeting in person. Actually, I had a great phone call with Brad Jacob last night about the trip, and so a couple of creators that I haven't met in person yet that I'm really looking forward to meeting. But in preparation of that sticker, I went ahead and I ordered a bunch of them. I'll be bringing them with me, and I will also I just put them for sale on my website. They're like $4 a piece. It's nothing. It basically covers the cost of the sticker and the mailing. So if you want one, I'll put a link in the description below as well, but they're also on the website. So thanks again, I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon.